think congratulations are in order for your CBN license.
Thank you very much, Dimeji.
Can you give us a sense of the core of NOLT Finance? I understand there is the investment arm, there is the loan arm.
I always start with the story of the meaning of NOLT. It's not a word that you find in the English dictionary. NOLT stands for no long things.
Wow.
And for us at the very beginning, we wanted a business that our services were very quick, very speedy. Basically, everything we do with a sense of urgency.
Yes.
We don't keep our customers waiting. And like you rightly said, there are two arms to our business: the investment side and the loan side, as regulated by the CBN regulation. So on the investment side, we can offer investments to both retail and corporate customers, starting from 100,000 naira and above. And we offer pretty attractive rates as well, quite competitive. Typically, we can't do anything that exceeds more than 12 months. The banks and the microfinance banks that can do longer tenured placements. But for us, we can't do more than 12 months. But we offer pretty attractive rates, which are above inflation. On the lending side, we have several lending products, ranging from the salary advance to salary for salary earners. We have working capital loans. We have asset financing, where we can either finance people that want to purchase motor vehicles, generators. Even now, we're looking into going into a partnership with a firm that offers solar solutions. We've also got invoice financing and the annuitant loan for retired pensioners. And once again, our loans are very, very attractive in terms of pricing, in terms of the turnaround time, and the sort of flexibility that we offer for it. We've got a lending application that we're working on, which will be available on the major app stores, that is both Apple and the Google Play Store. So we're coming through with a lot of innovation and using a lot of technology to push both sides of the business.
Is the investment arm the core part of the business?
They are both important because without one, the other doesn't exist. So the investments that we receive, we use them to push the lending. So when people give us money, that's what we use it for, in order to be able to generate the returns to pay them their correctors.
What's the lending structure like? How does this really work?
Okay, so our lending for SMEs, businesses, is from 100K to a maximum of 20 million naira. On the personal side, that is for individuals, it's 100K to 5 million naira.
Okay.
Typically, we ask people that want to apply for the 100K range to go by the app.
Okay.
It's still digitally enabled.
Okay.
You apply via our website,
right?
www.noltfinance.com, and then somebody picks it up, reaches out to you, contacts you, and then you submit all the requested information, also by a form on the website, basically.
Okay, so for people looking for below 100, they do everything on the app?
On the app, yes.
Okay. I think there's also something like a referral system?
Yes. So on the app, there's a built-in referral system.
Okay.
Where if, for example, you have an account on the app,
yes,
there's a referral code you have. If you forward to somebody, you know that it's through you, that person came through, and you get some sort of a reward for that, basically. So it's just an incentive to encourage people. But also offline, we still offer some sort of a referral agency scheme as well for agents.
When is the app launching?
We're looking at September.
Okay.
End of August, September.
Now, with the CBN license, what does this mean for NOLT Finance at this point?
The CBN license gives us eligibility, the credibility to be able to do business in a way that gives everybody confidence. So if I come to you and I tell you, Dimeji, come and place 1 million naira with me for 12 months, naturally you'll be a bit panicky that, who am I placing money with? Are they regulated? What are they using the money for? Am I going to get my money back? But first and foremost, if I tell you that I'm licensed or regulated by the Central Bank of Nigeria, which is the highest authority for anybody in our own part of the financial services, that will give you at least that little bit of comfort that you need to know that you are doing business with the right people. And I mean, it's not going to come to that with NOLT, but you know that if things go wrong, you know where to go. Right. And of course, for us, even beyond that, we can tap into multiple sources of funding. So it just opens a lot of doors for us and just gives us the credibility to do the business that we're doing.
Who are your target market?
Well, our target market is, yes, from the young people up onto what I'll call the middle age. We're more focused on SMEs, on the lending side. We try to be diverse, focus on both women and men. From the market research that we've done, we see that our market is ranging from like the 20s to late 40s age range.
What makes NOLT really different?
Well, for us, most importantly, customer service is what differentiates. I'll say that we're coming to with top-notch customer service. That's number one.
Yes.
Number two, we've done a survey of the market, and we've seen that even our price points is actually more affordable than some of the other competitors in the market. We're also coming with speed. Speed is also very important for us. We aim to turn around your business for you within 24 hours.
What inspired NOLT Finance?
So prior to this, I was in finance, but I was in the investment side of finance.
Okay.
Along the way, I noticed that people needed funds, basically, let me put it that way. So people used to come and approach me, So myself and one of my current co-founders, he was also a director on my previous company. So we just got talking, we started spotting the opportunity that there's a real opportunity in here that is not being serviced. That was number one. Number two, we noticed that a lot of technologies were coming along that was making it the right time for the challenge with a lot of banks and other lending institutions was availability of information of their customers. But now there are so many data points, there's so much technology that is available that we also tap into that I think makes the business that much better now and more organized. So I think it was a case of timing and spotting the opportunity that the time was right. And also importantly, the right partners on board. At the time we started our planning pre-pandemic, there are 6 of us that are the core promoters of the business, or I'll say 7. It was just sort of fortunate the way we all spotted each other and both recognized the same opportunity at the same time. And these are people of great experience and skill that without them, NOLT won't be in existence.
How did you pull a team together?
I was able to articulate what we wanted to do, but ultimately number 2 is also integrity to an extent. People see what you've done and they know the way I operate basically. So once I spoke to them, most of them didn't even have any second thoughts. They were on board. So there was a lot of strategy, planning, meetings that went into this.
You say you have a finance background. Tell us your story.
Okay, well, I started my career in the UK. I actually graduated in both my BSc and MSc in the UK, and then I proceeded to start working in the UK. I worked there for about 8 years, but mostly in the technology space, or technology and finance space. Come 2013, I just decided it was time to come back to Nigeria. Once again, I felt the time was right. Our democracy was progressing and the economy was opening up. So I came to Nigeria and I came to join a firm called Korea Investment and Securities, which is an investment outfit. Okay. So before then I had specialized in investments. So that's where I worked for the last 2013 to 2020. That's about 7 years. So it's quite a different space because you invest in assets for people, financial assets. Along the line, like I said, we spotted this opportunity and we felt the time was right to create something like this.
Who are some of the professionals that are on your team and what is really their skill sets? Okay, so well, number one is Mr. Robert Ijire. He's the one that I said we were together on the board before. Okay. He's actually a lawyer and a finance expert. Then we've got Mr. Laulu Alabi. He's an accountant by training and also a finance expert. We've got Mr. Shiwani Baba. He's also a trained accountant as well. So yeah, those are the people on the team. And as you can see, if I was to pay such people to come and maybe put together a business plan, you can imagine how much we would have spent. But these are guys that gave their time and also their money because they also invested in the business because they believed in this dream. So I was quite fortunate to be able to get a broad range of people to come together and fine-tune or finesse a business plan and strategy. What should people expect? Oh, they should expect a lot from us. We intend to not be calm about the level of noise we're going to make. In terms of the products that we're going to be bringing out, both on the investment side, on the lending side,
We intend to be as innovative as possible in how we attack the market. We might not have the necessary funds to be able to place billboards all over Nigeria, but we'll be very tactical. We live in a digital age, so it's about targeted marketing. Anyway, those are the kind of things we're going to concentrate on. So we're going to try and target our precise, niche, basically. And with the set of products that we have, and with the app that we have as well. So the app, for instance, is intended to target the retail end of the market and those that are technology savvy. So you find a lot of the younger demographic, everything they do, they want to be able to do it via an app. While some of the older guys still prefer either phone calls, emails, or coming into our office. Right. Which is why, once again, we chose this kind of location that is easy to find, it's comfortable, and people can easily come in here to also do business.
People say the business environment here, is tough. What has been the challenges, and what is your experience doing business in Nigeria?
Nigeria is definitely challenging, even from basic things like energy, having to power your own office, right, your diesel and generator, to even staffing, getting the right type of staff that you need. That's also another challenge, and regulators as well. Then, of course, you have the microeconomic situation in the country where you're dealing with multiple economic factors such as inflation, soaring costs. I mean, you deal with so many things in Nigeria that you don't necessarily face as often in UK or other parts of the world.
As an entrepreneur, I mean, failure is part of, is inevitable.
Of course.
Have you failed at anything before? How were you able to navigate that and come out?
While I was in the UK, I had actually attempted several businesses in Nigeria that didn't work out. So there I started to understand that Nigeria is not a place where you can just sit far away, 6,000 miles away, and put your money and not be there. It just won't work. So those were some of my early experiences in business failure, I would say. And then even moving to Nigeria, I had some hard and difficult lessons as well in the business that I was running. But luckily, I had a mentor and somebody that was able to also guide me, even though I still made some mistakes. From there, we were able to learn lessons that I'll say today are applicable to this business that we're even doing. So.
Where do you see NOLT in 5 years?
So interesting enough, we had a strategy session in late December last year, and we did a 1 year, 5 year, and 10-year plan. 5 years, we see ourselves as an African player. We see ourselves as having at least no less than 200,000 active customers, both investment and on the loan side. We see ourselves as a reference point for innovation within the industry in Nigeria. We see ourselves having at least 40 times the current loan book size, and at the minimum 60 times the investment book size. We see our shareholder base, growing at least probably 100 times. And, depending on where finance and technology is at that point, we see ourselves possibly having a banking license or the other, evolving this license to a part that also enables our business to scale.
Are you looking to raise more funds?
So yeah, no, definitely for a business to grow, you need more funds.
Yeah.
That goes without saying. So for some of the things that I've mentioned, you'll definitely need more funds, because for you to get to that level, you need to market more. So most of it will go towards technology, hiring more staff, and spending on marketing, advertising.
What is really the benefits to the investor? What is?
Like I said at the beginning, we offer attractive interest rates, which we always review from time to time. We monitor what's going on in the industry vis-a-vis our own internal capabilities and whatnot. But I believe it's the sort of rates that we offer that are competitive, for investors. And your funds are safe to us because they are managed by the best professionals in here. We abide by the CBN guidelines because there are prescriptions, prudential prescriptions by the CBN in terms of how you spend depositors' money, to what extent, and stuff like that. So yeah, your money is safe with us, and the returns are pretty good as well.
What mechanism do you deploy to retrieve loans?
Yeah, so firstly, I would like to compare ourselves to loan sharks. If you look at the definition of a loan shark, is somebody that operates in the dark market, unregulated,
Right.
gives loans to vulnerable people.
Yes.
That's not our business here. Our aim is to deliver services to the underserved, right? And how do we define the underserved? Underserved for us are people that qualify. They are within the financial, what's it called, catchment, but they just don't get enough service from banks or whatnot. So for example, a lot of people that we give loans to are people that they have BVNs, they have financial records, they have bank accounts, but one way or the other, their banks just don't cater to them. Either because due to speed, sometimes some people might just need the money within maybe 3 days and stuff like that. So we're able to cater to such people. And like I said, our rates are competitive. And when it comes to recovery, right now we use a lot of data, first and foremost. So for us, the issue of recovery money even starts from disbursement. So we just don't disburse to anybody.
Okay.
There's a reason why we ask you to submit all the information that we ask you to submit before processing a loan. So we have to be able to assess your ability to repay that loan, first and foremost, anyway. So we look at your cash flows, we look at your history, and we also look at the intended use of the business. So if you say you're an entrepreneur, we have to assess that business that you're doing and make sure that business is also viable before we even give you the loan. And then we get guarantors. In some cases, we might ask for some sort of a collateral, depending. But in terms of recovery, we're not, we don't use these aggressive or invasive methods that people are deploying out there. We believe it violates so many rules.
Yeah.
But at the same time, of course, we must ensure the safety of our capital and our investor funds. So we apply the necessary legal protocols to get our money back.
The investors' funds, do you also invest in other businesses or other things apart from just giving that as just lending it out?
We place a portion with other counterparties, so
Okay.
it's a mix. But principally, there are two things we use it for lending and placements with counterparties.